right there. We'll cut that out in post. How are we all going? We enjoying ourselves? The heat, the only aircon room in the whole place. I'm fucking pumped. It is, man. Like, I don't know if you guys know me or if you've seen me before, but I actually used to run a gig here called Canned Comedy, which was the entry fee was a can of food, and like we put on a comedy show. And in 2 years, we raised 28,000 meals in 4 venues. Hey, Miko, what's going on, brother?
Sorry.
Miko, everyone, give a big round of applause. No, I did. I used to run a gig called Canned Comedy, which the entry fee was a can of food. We used to run it here, and in 2 years, we raised 28,000 meals for Food Bank WA, which I think was a pretty good deal. Yeah. It would have been more, but I need my 10%. You know, I'm a businessman. You know what I mean? But no, I'm actually really pumped to be here, guys. I really am, because I didn't think I was going to make it to this, be able to do this show, because in December. I got rushed to the ER because I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, I woke up and I had massive chest pains, had tingling down my arms. And when you're a fat dude, like, you feel that and you're just like, uh-oh. And I was like that scared that I didn't really want it to be a heart attack. So I just started Googling what's the least it could be, which you don't do. Get to the fucking ER, man. And it was a rough trip. It was a rough trip because like the whole trip, I'm just thinking like I'm too young to die. Like I'm too young to die, and I get there and there's these 2 young nurses and they're talking to each other, and I've walked in and I'm grasping my chest. They look at each other, look at me, and then go back to talking to each other, which annoyed the fuck out of me. And I blew up at these chicks and I was just like, hey, why don't you just go get George Clooney's ass out here? I'm having a fucking heart attack. And they looked at each other just like, George Clooney, what the fuck's he talking about? And that terrified me because I was just like, fuck. Maybe I am old enough to die. Like that is. It was rough, man. It was a scary experience, and I did learn a lot that day. I learned a lot about nurses. Any nurses here? No. Well, nurses are the nicest people on earth when they think you're having a heart attack, and they turn into the most miserable cunts on the planet when it turns out it's just indigestion. It is, man. They were drawing blood out like it was a delicate operation when I had a heart attack. When it was a fucking heartburn, it was like a, fuck that joke up. You know what I'm talking about. We're loosey-goosey up here, man. And I know that's a bit heavy because I'm, you know, because I'm trying to improve myself, man. I've had a rough couple of years. In 2020, I got put on suicide watch during COVID, which was the worst time to get put on suicide watch, man. It was. Because it's hard to feel inspired to live when your suicide watch is via Zoom. Hard to feel inspired to live when you know Jeffrey Epstein's got a better surveillance team than you do, you know what I mean? I know that's a very heart attack and suicide just to kick off the show. But I promise that's all the dark shit, I promise, man. Because I am trying to improve my life, man. I've been traveling all around the world doing comedy. I got to go to Vietnam. Vietnam's a very cool place, man. It is a very beautiful, amazing place, not built for guys like me. Like my ass went through wicker chairs like Godzilla went through Tokyo. Like it is not built for a guy like me, man. And like Asia is an amazing place, man. I went to Singapore. Singapore, out of all the Asian countries, it's the weirdest country because like it's the only place in the world where you can get a prostitute any hour of the day, but you got to go through gangsters to get a vape. Like it is a weird place, man. And it's like the whole national credo is to try to get you to eat a thing called durian fruit. You guys heard of this? Oh man, it is the worst smelling, worst tasting, and all the Singaporeans are like, you tried that durian fruit yet? You tried that durian fruit yet? I was like, no, like if I want to know what durian fruit tastes, hey, come on in guys. You miss it? Come down the front. Come on, big round of applause. Yeah, no, so anyway, I was talking about suicide. I've been thinking about killing myself. Well, you better start laughing, ladies, otherwise it won't be happening tonight. So it's fucking. No, there's the durian fruit. They all like, oh, you tried that durian fruit? And it's like, no, I don't want to try that shit. If I want to know what durian tastes like, I'll fucking go down on a dead body. Like that's as close as you're gonna get. You walked in at the right time, ladies. Yeah, but it's I've been going around the world. I got to go to Alaska. I got into a comedy festival in Alaska, which was very cool. Got to hang out with natives. Yeah, which sounds a lot more wilderness than it is. It was just at the pub, And the whole trip, they're trying to teach me native words like muktuk, which stands for whale blubber. And I only remember that because that was the nickname they gave me the whole Alaska's a wild place, man, it is. Alaska is a wild place. Because like, I was there for 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks they had 6 avalanches and 4 earthquakes. And the 2 main news stories in Alaska was moose walks into a hospital and moose walks into a school. They were the 2 main news stories. The second story was a lot sadder because they had to shoot the moose. Yeah, they didn't have to, but like, you walk into an American school, it's bound to happen, you know? I know, Americans will. No, it's but no, I do like, I used to be like really anti-guns, and then I went to America, and now I'm pro-guns. They push their propaganda on you, man. Because like, there's only 2 reasons why Americans don't want to ban guns. They want to protect themselves from their government, and they want to protect themselves from the zombie apocalypse. Which sounds fucking insane until you realize Joe Biden is both those things. Paul's very fucking growing up. But no, I'm pro-guns, man. Because I'm older, I just think that like, I don't think we should be banning guns. What I think we should do is lift the bans on things that are going to stop people wanting to kill each other. You know? Like Kinder Surprises. You know Kinder Surprises are banned in America? Yeah. You want to know why? Because they're a choking hazard. Really? Like out of every country in the world, you're going to question America's ability to eat? They're the 2nd fattest country in the world. The 2nd fattest. They used to be number 1, but with all these mass shootings, it really thinned out the herd. And look, like, I'm pro-guns, and this has come from a guy that got threatened with a gun in Baltimore. Yeah. Because I was talking to this guy, and I was just like, you know, America needs to change its national animal. Like, you guys know what the national animal of America is? It's the bald eagle. Yeah. It doesn't represent America. It does not represent America. And I was telling him this, and I was like, you guys got to change your national animal to a rattlesnake. Because it represents America, right? Because they're loud, and they let everyone know they're around. Fuck, I fucked that up. They're dangerous, and they let everyone know. We go. And I told him this, and he said, I'll fucking shoot you. And he just kind of proved my point. Oh, man. That's where I lost just fuck. But no, I do like it. I do like, because like, it's gonna sound fucked up, but I like guns because they're fair. You know, because anyone can get shot. You know, like in America, they killed presidents. Just random dudes off the street. Like they shot, who was it, Abraham Lincoln? They shot JFK. But my favorite one was, I don't know if you guys know this story, there was a guy called John who was infatuated with Jodie Foster. And his whole thing was like, you know what, I'm gonna show my love and show Jodie Foster that I love her by going out and I'm gonna shoot Ronald Reagan. And you know what he did? By God, he went out and shot Ronald Reagan. Which does my head as an Australian, because all our news is like, fuck Trump, Trump is the worst, Trump is this, Trump is that, but no one took a shot at him. Which, if that doesn't prove that chivalry is dead, I don't know. Oh man, it's wild. America is a wild place, man. But I love it. I love America, man. It's the best. Like, I was over there a few years ago. Got to meet black people. That was cool. Fuck yeah. I got to hang out with black dudes in Detroit, which I was in Detroit a few years ago. It was, I like to call it my Eminem phase. And this black dude came up to me and was like, hey, you look like the sort of motherfucker that has cartoon characters on his underwear. I was like, oh my God, I am the sort of motherfucker that has cartoon. And that was like the coolest moment of my life, man. I felt like I got inducted into Wu-Tang Clan. I was like, fuck yeah. You know, game represents game, you know what I mean? And but then I got too comfortable. Like I got too comfortable too quick and I was like, yeah, cause I do. Bro, and I saw the words leaving my mouth and he got this big smile on his face and he just looked at me and said, yeah, cause you yabba dabba do not get any pussy. And the amount of laughter from the black people in this club it shook the fucking building, man. Like, there were people who didn't even hear the joke run across the street just to point and laugh at me, man. And it was the most humiliated moment of my life, man. I was traumatized by it. I got my Scooby-Doo backpack and I got the fuck out of it. But it is. Detroit's a wild place, man. Detroit is it's an amazing place. I got to do gigs there. There was a booker over there, and they were the craziest person I ever met. They were just like, oh, you can come stay at my place for free. We'll give you this amount of money, and you can do all the drugs that you want. And I got everything. I got coke, I got weed, I got heroin, I got uppers, I got downers. And it made me kind of emotional because I was like, fuck, this is the closest I'll get to get drafted to the West Coast Eagles. Any Eagles fans here? Get the fuck out. This is the darkest bit. No, but that sounds cool, right? You know, going to a stranger's house, doing drugs all day and comedy all night. That sounds cool when you're in your 20s. But when you're in your 30s, it's even better because I got no contacts, man. Like, all the drug dealers in my area are kids, and I don't want to buy drugs off kids, man. Because there's only two reasons why a guy like me meets up with a kid in a park. And 100% of the time, no one thinks it's for drugs. It's weird, because like, this is what I don't understand about like the new Gen X generation. Because like, my generation was fucked, man. Like, do you guys remember playing a game called Pop? Great. It's not just POP. You guys remember this? Pedophile or Park? Alright, I guess it was just a government housing game, I guess. How it worked, right, it was like when you were a kid and you used to have to walk home from school and a car would pull up next to you and you had that split second to decide whether that guy was a pedophile or just parking. It was a weird game. It was a weird game because you only had to lose once for it to stop being fun. But yeah, I don't like the new generation, man. Like, I don't know what the real young kids are called, but like, I've got a 5-year-old cousin and she's the fucking worst, man. Like, everyone tells her how smart. What's that? What?
Gen X 2.
Is that what they're called? Fuck, even that fucking name is shit. Gen X, baby, or millennial, I don't know which one I am, I forget. But they fucking suck, man. Because like, all my family's like, oh my God, you're so smart, Amy. You're so smart. I was like, fuck you, I'm smart too. Like, why the fuck is she getting all the credit, man? And she was like, hell smart. She had a birthday party, and I don't like talking to kids on the best of time. But I saw one kid, he had a Ninja Turtle shirt, and I was like, fuck yeah, that kid's cool. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, cool shirt, bro. And he said, my mum said not to talk to strangers. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was just like, yeah, fuck, so did my mum. What, you think this is easy for me? I went out on a limb talking to you little shit. That's a fucking respect. And it's rough, man. I don't love my cousin, eh? She's cool and I gotta love her because, you know, we're cousins. But it's like, I tried giving a shit about like how she always stays inside, she doesn't go like roughhouse outside, and I was like, that's the problem with your generation, you know, we all wrap you up and bubble wrap, ooh, don't get sand under your nails, don't get, scratch your knees, ooh, wrap you up and bubble wrap, ooh. And she just looked at me and said, do you mean mollycoddled? I was like, no bitch, I don't mean mollycoddled. And then I googled mollycoddled. Turns out it was exactly what I thought. Because like, it is hard getting like picked on by like my 5-year-old cousin. Because I got bullied all the way through school, man. Like in high school, my nickname was Shit Sticks. Yeah, because this one time this dude stuck a pen up his ass and threw it at me. Still to this day, I don't know how I'm the fucking weirdo on that school. And it was hard because I got bullied in like, I don't know, you guys are all from WA, right? Yeah, so like getting bullied in, I grew up in a place called Willagee, which is the worst place to, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking, and yes, I did live 3 doors down from David and Catherine Burney, which if you don't remember, are 2 of the most infamous serial killers in Australian history. And they were kind of weird, right? Like I used to watch him as a kid, and I used to watch him Because like as a kid, I knew from the get-go, the first time I met David Burney, that guy was a fucking serial killer. Because as a kid, I was watching him, he would go up and down the street and he used to steal egg cartons out of people's bins. And I saw that and I was like, fuck yeah. David's into arts and crafts as well. And so the first chance I saw him, I ran out and I was like, hey David, why do you steal egg cartons out of people's bins? And he just bent down. Definitely not to soundproof my torture dungeon. And then he walked off. Yeah. And my first thought was like, that cunt's a serial killer. That dude kills people. And that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was the homicide squad raided his house. And it turned out that David was using those egg cartons to soundproof his torture dungeon. I mean, killing people is one thing, but lying to a child, that's just a real low dog move, you know what I mean? And it really fucked up my perspective, because like I was a kid when this happened, and like since that moment I've been watching like a lot of serial killer documentaries, and I kinda feel like serial killers get a bad rap. Alright, I'm the only one on this, okay? No, I do. We always look at all the bad things that they do. We never appreciate all the good things that they do, you know? Like Ed Gein. You guys know Ed Gein? Ed Gein used to turn his victims into furniture. Into furniture. He used to turn his victims into furniture. And I can see on your face, you think that's fucked up. Whoever's calling you thinks it's fucked up as well. You gotta get out of here. Get out of that dark room with that fat man. No, you think it's wrong, man. Like the dude used his victims to turn them into furniture. And you want me to judge this person? Like I failed woodwork for 3 fucking years in high school. Like who the fuck am I to judge? You know, Jeffrey Dahmer's another one. Jeffrey Dahmer used to eat people. Eat people. Yeah, that's the proper definition. Cannibal shit is right. But like, again, you're looking at me like, fuck that, that's disgusting. I have trouble digesting cheese. Like who the fuck am I to judge Jeffrey Dahmer, you know? I actually got to tell that joke in Milwaukee. This is another time I got threatened with a gun. I was in Milwaukee because he was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, and on there, and I was at the bar, and this dude was like, "Oh, I could never go to Australia because all the animals there can eat you." I was like, "That's a fair thing to be afraid of," because I had the same feeling about coming to Milwaukee. And yeah, apparently after 30 years, still too soon. So but no, it's true. That was one. I got to go to a really murdery place. I got to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is a very beautiful, picturesque place. You can really appreciate why they filmed so many serial killer documentaries there. It's a beautiful place to get murdered, man. And their slogan is a new type of energy. And the source of that energy is copious amounts of dead bodies. Like it is murder capital. Like it is a horror movie down there. And I didn't realize this till my sister was like, you can't go to Tulsa. Like that's where they film the first 48. And I was like, oh, how sweet. Like my sister doesn't want me to get murdered. And she's like, no idiot, you look like every suspect from the first 48. We don't need some jailbird tarnishing up our family name, you know. And I got the feeling like my family didn't care if I got murdered in Tulsa when I found out that they had a betting pool on how I would get murdered in Tulsa. And it really annoyed me, not just because they thought I'd get murdered, but just how I would get murdered. Like my sister put machete. So she picked machete and then underneath wrote, Sean's always been susceptible to machetes. Who the fuck isn't susceptible to machetes? No one's immune to machetes. Even the person with the machete isn't immune to machetes. So all pirates have got one eye. Fuck that joke. But it was true. The only thing that freaked me out about Tulsa was my dad telling me, you don't want to go to Tulsa, son. That's where they filmed Roadhouse. Which, if you don't remember, is a 1980s action movie with Patrick Swayze. And it was one of those movies where Hollywood knew karate was cool, but they still didn't know what karate was. So a lot of it was just made up with a bunch of racist Asian sounds. Okay. We're all pro Roadhouse in here, I guess. But it turned out they didn't even film it in Tulsa. They filmed it in Missouri, which freaks me out even more. Because it's like, fuck, is Tulsa too scary for Patrick Swayze? Fucking Bodie from Point Break? Did Tulsa put baby in corner and that baby was Patrick Swayze? And it was horrible, man. And then I forgot about it because I got into a festival in Tulsa and I flew there. And I totally forgot all about the murder and stuff until I got to my hotel room and about to get out and my belt buckle was stuck. Like it's stuck in the seatbelt and I'm like, fuck. Like this bitch is gonna kill me at the front of the Hilton. Like this chick's gonna boil my head. Like I'm freaking out. And I'm terrified because like my life is flashing before my eyes, which was super depressing because it was just like KFC and Patrick Swayze movies. And but I survived, man. So this that was good. But Tulsa, I highly recommend going to Tulsa. Like don't let all the people randomly getting murdered on the street tell you. It is an amazing spot, man. I got to meet a lot of wonderful people. There was only one person that I didn't really like. He was a Christian pastor, but he looked like a Christian pastor. He looked like a cowboy from a musical. Like he had like a white cowboy outfit with like rhinestones on his back that read, "The Lord saves, saves, saves," like he's trying to sell Christ at wholesale. And the whole time he's just teaching me like, he's like talking to me about like the history of Tulsa and the history of the LGBT community in Tulsa and the history of the Sooners and all this and all that. And he was really boring, but he was the only one that offered me cocaine, so I'm like, I better stick it out with this dude. Well, I didn't know he was offering me drugs. He just said, "You want to come to the bathroom with me?" And I was just like, I was raised Catholic, like, fool me once, motherfucker, you know what I mean? But I can't do drugs in America, man, because their drugs are fucking insane. And I'm not even talking about like street drugs. I'm talking about that pharmaceutical stuff, man. It is the gnarliest shit. Like I had hay fever. I took hay fever medication and put me in a heroin knot for 3 days. Like it is, I don't know, maybe I'm just old fashioned, but I don't think my hay fever medication, I should wake up with 3 stolen DVD players and an urge to rob a liquor store, you know what I mean? And it really explained why so many Americans are religious. Because I took heartburn medication and I saw Jesus. Yeah. He was riding a unicorn giving me the finger saying, "Heartburn is for pussies, heartburn is for pussies." Yeah, and I grew up, like, I'm kind of an atheist, but like when I saw that, it was like, fuck, if that's how Jesus is, like if I was the son of God, that's how I'd be acting as well, you know what I mean? But yeah, but it's good traveling. You look young, you done much traveling?
No, I traveled
I missed all that. What did you say?
I've been in Perth my whole life, so I haven't traveled.
I get out there. Perth's cool, but there's nothing cool.
I need to get out of Perth.
Get out, but like, and you're lucky because you're skinny, like, because you can stay in hostels and shit. I'm too fat for hostels. I got to spend all fortune in hotels. Because like the last time I was in a hostel, this American dude woke me up by punching me in the head because I pissed on him, right? And what happened was like, I'm in this hostel, and at the time I was 150 kilos. 150 kilos, not the ripping 149 you see before you now. And this American dude took the bottom bunk. Now when you're 150 kilos and have the top bunk, I mean, it might as well just be Cirque du Soleil for fuck's sake. Like I look like King Kong climbing the Empire State Building. And I was furious, man. I went out that night and I drank the town dry, and I somehow managed to get back to my hostel, climb up the stairs and into my bed, and I don't know what happened, whether I was thinking about the rain or waterfalls, but I pissed on this dude hard. Like I pretty much just waterboarded this dude, and he got out and he started punching me in the head, and I pushed him off and he just yelled at me, he said, "You peed on me, you douchebag." And I started laughing, because who the fuck says douchebag anymore? Like, I felt like I was in a Nickelodeon movie or some shit. Like I pissed on one of the little rascals. And then I started laughing at him, so he started punching me again, which really annoyed me. Not the fact that he was punching me, but every time he punched me, he was flicking piss. And I was just like, I've had enough. So I booted him, and he's tripped, and he's hit his head on the wall, and knocked himself out. And in that moment, management's come in and was just like, what the fuck's going on? And I'd like to think that I did like the right thing, but I didn't. I just said, "That dude pissed both of our beds." And people were looking at me like I was kind of weird. You know, the next few days it was kind of awkward. Like his girlfriend came up to me and was like, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you ashamed? No. Like I wasn't the one that got pissed on now, was I? You guys a couple? Oh wait, have we met? Yeah, we met. Did we? We met, yeah, fuck yeah. That was the first time flying and I fucking hated it. Was I alright? Well, you came to the show, so I did alright, right? Fuck yeah. Who came because I flied them? Fuck yeah. 4 people. But no. So you're a couple, right? Are you? 2024, no judgment here. No, because I'm back on the dating market after 6 years. It's fucked, yeah, man. 6 years back on the dating market. I wasn't in a relationship. I just took myself off the market hoping that shit would blow up like Bitcoin. And it did not. It did not. No, that shit crushed harder than Paul Walker, man. It was brutal. It was, Sorry, I'm sensitive about my dating life. But no, I've been back on the dating apps. It's weird, man. Like I matched with a chick, and we went out for a date, and she wanted to keep debating me about porn. And I'm not the argumentative type, but you know, I felt like this topic was in my wheelhouse. And the whole time she was just like, women in porn are just being exploited for their bodies. Women in porn are just being exploited for their bodies. And I'm just thinking, like, no shit, idiot. Like, who the fuck here isn't being exploited for their bodies? Like, no one's looking at me and thinking, oh, that guy must be a secretary. No, most of you look at me and think I lift heavy shit for a living, right? You want to know why? Because I lift heavy shit for a living. Which is horseshit. Like, why can't I be a secretary? You know? I can giggle like a schoolgirl and pick up pencils all provocatively and shit. Yeah. All right. I don't really know what a secretary does.
Shit speaks.
Like, you look like my school teacher, can't you? You fucking know No. But it turns out that's what they all do in the movies that I watch, man. So it was good. And like, you know, fuck, you threw me off school, teacher. Right on the spot, you fucking decide to bully me from 2002, you piece of shit. Is that your wife there? Have you got like the cinema seat where you put all the snacks and shit? Or is that a proper
Yeah,
table?
we have.
How do you guys meet? Tinder?
We met because we were both divorced and our daughters were in the same class at primary school and good friends. But when we got together, then they hated each other's guts.
Did you guys meet at a parent-teacher night? Dude.
No.
That's creepy because I'm thinking of, because my mum and dad had to go to all the parent-teacher nights. If I knew they were looking for love, that makes it a whole... Fuck yeah. Well, can I ask how long you guys have been together?
We've got our 14th wedding anniversary.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's called Annabelle Day. That's our wedding anniversary, my birthday, and Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I was ripped off.
A big round of applause for these guys. I'm happy for you guys, but I'm also like really angry and jealous and bitter about how charming and romantic your love is. So,
Well, our 4 kids are the same. So
well, I'll tell you what, parent-teacher night might be where it's at. Like single mums, fuck yeah, that's where I'm going. Because like the apps fucking suck. Because I matched with a chick, and I thought we'd get along because she hated everything associated with Nazis. Like I thought, well, fuck yeah, like I could get behind that, but she was like real Third Reich about it. And like the whole day she just kept going like, I don't drink Fanta because they're association with Nazis. I don't wear Doc Martens because they're association with Nazis. I don't want to hook up in your combi because they're association with Nazis. And like the whole date I think she's just fucking with me because she's Japanese. Okay, I'm glad to cover this guy. And it's hard. We wouldn't have been able to work out, man. We wouldn't, because like one of my favorite things in the world is poorly drawn swastikas. You know the one? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but Hitler was an art student. So like every time he sees that, you just know that he's rolling in his grave, just like, how hard is it to draw a swastika? It's just line, 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 line. But yeah, the dating sites fucking suck, man. Went on one date. What are you guys gossiping? You guys going on Tinder now? I support single mums. Fuck yeah.
Hot shit.
That is the coolest shit. Like, this is my demographic. I had a chick that last night that was like really behind supporting serial killers as well, and I was like, this is the weirdest demographic ever. But no, I do have a struggle with the dating. So, you guys dating sites? Did you say? Fuck yeah. I like how this is like a weird human caterpillar of like arm across the shoulder.
We're single mums.
Fuck yeah. I've got a guy for you over here. But no, I met one chick, she asked if I was mobile. Catch you later.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Yeah, she asked if I was mobile. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I came to this date on my own accord, you know. But in her defense, I was half an hour into the date and I was still huffing and puffing, so maybe she was onto something. But my worst day was because I went back on Tinder, which is the worst, because like I'm not the best looking dude, so I had to max out my search radius. And fuck off. And I matched with a chick in a place called Tammin, which if you don't know, it's one of those side of the road towns on your way to a less shitty town. It's rough. And she was 45 minutes late to the date. 45 minutes late, and I'm thinking the same thing you guys are thinking. She better get here in the next 60 to 90 minutes, otherwise I'm gonna. I got a little thing called dignity, you know what I'm saying? And finally, she rocked up to the date 45 minutes late, up to the gills on meth. Yeah, like you know when people that cook, they start getting that nang nang face? Like nang 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 nang. Yeah, like you know what the first thing she said to me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, she was that cooked that the first thing she said to me was, have you ever had to put an axe through a dying cow's head? Yeah, that was her opening line to me. And I don't know what you guys, I'm thinking the same thing you guys are thinking. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that sounds sexy as hell. She was proper cooked, man. It was like, I'm not talking that nice clean city meth that Ben Cousins used to do. I'm talking that filthy, disgusting country meth that Ben Cousins does now. That was a weird day. Like, I don't know if you guys have been to Tammin, but Tammin is a rough place, man. Like, I ordered spaghetti bolognese, they gave me 2-minute noodles with beef jerky. Like, it is a rough place, man. And like the whole date, hey, good to see you. The whole date, she kept giving me like these weird compliments. Like she was just looking at me just like, ooh, for a dude, you've got the nicest set of tits I've ever seen. I don't really know how to take that lady. She was a weird lady, man. Like the whole date, she kept calling me Piggy. Yeah, Piggy. Which, you don't want savages calling you Piggy. I don't know if you guys ever read Lord of the Flies, but they knocked a rock on that fat kid's head. Like, I don't fucking want that, man. And it was a weird date, because like, you know, after a while, like I could sense like she was keen on me. Like, I started breaking down these abusive flirts that she was giving me, and it was I could sense that she was keen on me because she started giving me that sexy eye. You know, the other eye was still going. She was like cooked, bro. And finally, she just came out and said it was like, "Hey, do you want to come back to my place and hook up?" And I'm like, "Oh, no." And I didn't want to be a jerk about it enough, so I just had to think of the first lie I could think of, and I was like, nah, man, I gotta go home and put an axe through a dying cow's head. This is my favourite audience so far. Out of the two, you guys killing me. No, it's hard. I don't know, you guys seem very cool, but let's push the boundaries and see how cool you guys really are. Because it's hard to find a lady, for me, because I got like a broken penis. Yeah. Oh, so it all went silent all of a sudden? I thought you guys were cool. No, I did for a while. I had a broken penis. I suffer from a thing called phimosis, which if you don't know, it's when the foreskin's that tight that it doesn't go over there. It's kind of like if I tried putting on a baby sweater. You know, I can keep trying and all that's going to happen is that it stings heaps and it looks kind of funny, you know. So yeah, I got diagnosed as having that. What's that?
She knows.
Great. Talk about it after the fucking show. That man is out here talking about his penis to a room full of strangers. This is a fucking AA meeting from now on. This is no, but yeah. So yeah, I did get diagnosed as having phimosis. Oh, well, I say diagnosed. I was just watching an episode of Embarrassing Bodies. I was like, holy shit, I fucking got that, man. And it really explained a lot like why none of my relationships are working out. Because I was hooking up with this chick and she was on top and she zigged when she should have zagged. And she pushed the foreskin all the way back and it got stuck. Yeah, like the head of the skin was like choking the head of the... It was kind of like my dick was doing like a Michael Hutchins impression. Like it was just, so, and you know, being the DIY guy that I'm like, you know what, I can fix this. A bit of cold water, a bit of lotion, and after 3 or 4 days, that just went black and purple. And it looked like the Fremantle Dockers logo down there. Like it was brutal. And so I went to my GP, and my GP was like, you got to get to the emergency room right now. And I'm there, and the emergency room is chock-a-block, like just wall-to-wall full of people. But apparently, you get a fast pass when your dick's about to fall off. So I was good. But at this point, man, like everything's just like swollen, and I can't walk, and I'm just walking like I'm a 100-year-old man. And you can just sense the vibe of the room was I stuck something up my ass. Like you could just sense it. I love that. One, that's a true story. But I told that story when I got to open for one of my childhood heroes, Steve-O from Jackass. I got to open for Steve-O. And I'm telling that story, and some dude at the back screamed out, "Show us!" Which I thought was kind of funny. You know, I was like trying to be quick and like, you know, smart and funny. And I was just like, I tell you what, man, if you're a woman, I'd be flopping it out right now for you. Huge fucking mistake. Because 500 of the craziest women just started screaming, "Show us! Show us your crazy looking penis!" And when 500 women scream out, "Show us your penis," it's humbling. And I won't lie, a little bit tempted. But if you guys want to see it, onlyfans.com/totalcomedy. But nah, broken penis is hard to find a lady. It's also not being a tough guy. Being a tough guy is another reason why it's hard to find a woman, man. Because I'm not a tough dude, and I found out that I'm not a tough dude in my first MMA fight. Yeah. Which I don't know if you got the few fellas in here, I don't know if you guys know much about the MMA cage, but the MMA cage is literally the worst place on earth to find out that you don't have the killer instinct. You know, because I'm an old theatre kid. Like my favourite part was like picking the colour of my shorts, you know, picking my intro song. You know, Cardi B's "Wet Ass Pussy" probably wasn't the toughest choice of mine. So, you know, I even got merged with my fight nickname made up. Yeah. Mr. Warm Milk. Because I put suckers to sleep indeed. But for real, like my favourite part was like walking to the ring waving at everyone like I'm Jackie Onassis. Worst part was actually getting in the cage and taking headshots like I'm JFK in Texas. Oh fuck off. I told that joke in Texas, they didn't even get the reference, you can relax. But what I didn't realise was like this was my first professional fight. And I didn't realise that till like the dude from Weight Watchers came to weigh us. And I stepped on the scales and I weighed in at 120 kilos of like beers and hamburgers. My opponent, he stepped on the scale at 120 kilos of like muscle and the spirit of his victims. But the crazy thing was I still thought I was a chance of winning. You know, because I knew I had something that dude didn't have. Which was an extensive knowledge of 1980s and 1990s action movies. You know the ones. You know when the good guy gets punched in the face, he touches his lip, he looks at the blood, and then he does that scream that starts low and ends high that lets everyone know that he's fucking crazy. You know the one that... But this dude punched me in the face, and guess what he did? He continued to punch me in the face. Like he's just come out of the corner like pow, 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 like he was Amber Heard or some shit. It was brutal. And I was like, he was just punching me in the face, and like the only thing I remember from the fight was just my corner kept screaming, "Stop touching your lip! Stop touching!" And I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something quick here, man. So I loaded up the biggest right hand in my life, man. I threw it from back here, I threw it, and I landed right on his chin. And I knew I was in trouble because it hurt my finger. And I audibly said, "Ow." And I'm not afraid to admit it, man. That was the scariest moment of my life, man. Because I'm just staring at this dude as he slowly touched his lip. But now I can't fight anymore, man. I can't fight anymore. The only people I fight now are like vegan activists online. Any vegan activists? No? I had to look at you. You're young and skinny, like you kind of got a real vegan activist vibe, man. I'm sorry to judge, I'm just saying. You too, man. You guys, yeah. You a vegan activist? Are you vegan or vegan activist? Because vegans I'm cool with. Vegan activists I don't like, because they're all lies.
No, but you gotta go partake in some shit, but I don't take. She wears her clothes.
Alright, well we'll see what you think of this bit. Because I don't like vegan activists because I think they're all lies.
Yeah.
Good, hot start. Fucking. No, I don't, because they are. Like, they'll go to a farm and they steal a lamb and they come on the news, "Oh, we didn't steal this lamb, we liberated this lamb. We're the voice of the voiceless, we speak for those who can't speak for themselves." And it's just like, just admit that it's fun nicking shit. Like, anyone steal shit here? Oh, fuck, just me then? Fuck off. You know, going houses the one that's all nicking shit? I do, man. You guys remember Action Supermarket? Yeah, I robbed that place into oblivion, man. Like I still got shit in my house from 20 years ago that I'll never get rid of. So if any of you ladies are looking for 20-year-old tampons, I'm your fucking guy. But no, it's all with the news, you know. Because they're all lies, man. Like they try to make you feel bad for the whales, you know. They do, you know. Like there was a whale that I saw, it washed up in shore because it had too much rubbish in its body. And everyone's like, "Oh, how sad. How sad that this whale died." Is it? Like, how do we know it wasn't just one dumb fat whale? Like, how do we know that other whales were like, "Hey man, maybe you shouldn't eat all that shit"? And he's just like, "Oh, I know, I'm terrible." But it's all the media. The media's trying to do it, man. Like, I'm done with reading the newspaper, man. I quit reading the newspaper when I was in New York, and the Frontline article was "Bird and Ernie are gay." Yeah, which I disagree with. I don't think Bird and Ernie are gay, man. And I think it's kind of rude that you insinuate that they're gay. Because what, they're two dudes that live in the same house. Women never go to their house. Like, doesn't make you gay. It means you're ugly. Like, and I love Bird and Ernie as much as the next man, but if you're gonna walk around with a butt plug for a head, you can't expect pussy to be knocking down your fucking door, you know what I'm saying? And this is a genuine story in the New York Times, and the first paragraph read, "Rumours have been circulating for years about the sexuality of Bird and Ernie." Who the fuck is spreading rumours about Bird and Ernie? Oscar the Grouch? Like, how the fuck did that rumour even get started? Nah, for real, I saw Bird fucking Ernie in a gimp suit. The whole time he just kept screaming, "Who's my rubber ducky? Who's my rubber ducky?" Oh, but I do, man. Like, cause the news is fucking making everyone so angry, man. It is. Like, my favourite thing that got everyone pissed off last year was drag queen story time. Like, it didn't matter what side of the fence you were. Like, everyone started getting angry at that shit. Like, I loved it because it was like a real life Jerry Springer episode. I loved it, man, because they were just like, why the fuck do these drag queens want to read to our kids? I don't know, because they need a job. Like, we're in a recession. Like, I don't know if you guys have been on Seek.com lately, but like dudes like that do karaoke dressed like 1980s hookers aren't in high demand right now, you know what I mean? But I'm not a big fan of the drag queen story times, to be honest, man. Because I don't like how they're the only fringe group that get to read to kids. Like, I think it should be open to all fringe groups, you know? Like Holocaust deniers. Not for like the political reason, I just think they would be amazing storytellers. You know, like Goldilocks walked up to the 3 bears house, but let's be honest, it was more like 1.5 bears at most. But yeah, I'm allowed to make these jokes because I actually had a gay experience, man. We'll see how fucking tolerant you crowd are by the end of this joke. Because this is my last story, man, and I leave it to the end because if the crowd doesn't like it, I get the fuck out of here. But it's true, I did have a gay experience, man. I did, and it's uncomfortable. I need to practice telling it because I got a lot of family and friends come to this show, and it's true because last year I was driving the back streets of Perth, and I saw 2 dudes kissing. And you know, this is 2023, so I'm thinking the same thing you guys are thinking. Gross. Like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. So if I see 2 dudes kissing, I got to assume they're sucking each other's cocks, right? And if I'm thinking about 2 dudes sucking each other's cocks, how long do you think it's going to be before I'm like, hey, wonder what it would be like if I suck a cock? I don't want to think about sucking cock, man. Some dude putting his fat, meaty sausage in my mouth. I don't want to think about that. You know, pushing it all the way down my throat till his pubes are under my nose, and I look like Burt Reynolds. I don't want to figure out that. You know, standing over me, tweaking his nipples, saying shit like, welcome to the chocolate factory, Charlie. Obviously it's going to be a black dude. I'm not going to suck some white dude's dick like some sissy. You know, and this is the problem with public gay affection. Like, I'm no more than like 5 minutes down the road, and I've sucked up more cock in my head than a 14-year-old on Epstein Island. I get it. You know, and then I'm thinking, because all these hard-ons are in my face and no one else is there to suck them, so it's all my fucking job. And then out of nowhere, I just hear bang. And I hit this cat, and I'm like, fuck. I get out and I see this cat, and I'm not great with cat emotions, but this cat was either sad or wanted lasagna. And, yeah, it's terrible Garfield joke, fuck off. And I wrapped it up and I took it to the vet, and got to the vet, and the vet came out, and no word of a lie, the vet is the dude that I saw kissing the other dude. And we looked into each other's eyes, and he recognised me, because like, I was just like, you know, something. And he took the cat back, and he was like working on this cat for hours and hours and hours. And he came back, and he was just like, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Good news is the cat's going to be, you know, live a long life, it's all healed up. The bad news is it's going to be $3,000. $3,000? Oh, fuck, I don't have $3,000. And it's like, well, there's another one. And I'm not good with gay emotions, so I just assumed we're going to go kill that cat, you know? And he just painted clear, like, you either pay me $3,000 or you're going to suck my cock. And, you know, like, and it felt really violated, you know, like $3,000 for a stray cat. Get that cock out, sir. We are paying some bills, you know. And despite all the cock sucking that I was sucking in my head, I wasn't that good at it. I was just like, gay. And then finally I got my rhythm, and I'm sucking this dude's cock, and I look over my, hear over my shoulder, damn boy, you suck a mighty fine cock. And I got a cough in my mouth, and I look over at the cat, pulling off its face, and it was the dude that was kissing the other dude in the back of my head. It was just one whole big scare to get me to suck their cocks. And before I could even react, the dude came down my throat like a shorn-off shotgun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sean Boyd. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. I've got these cards outside. It's got my social media details, but it's also got a QR code. If you like the show, please leave a review. It just helps with ticket sales. If you hated the show, please leave the meanest, hilarious fucking thing. Just go all out, because that's